If you're a homeowner looking to buy or sell your home, let us show you how we in the garage door industry go about a home inspection of a garage door. First thing I'm going to look for in a safety inspection as far as the garage door opener is concerned is, well, does it have safety eyes? And do they work properly? Are they mounted properly? Now, they should be mounted 3 to 6 inches from the ground. If they're lower than 3 inches, well, it'd be easy to step over them. If it was mounted higher than 6 inches, small child or pet could go underneath the beam and be struck by the moving door. Now, if your garage door opener was manufactured before 1993, there's a good chance it doesn't have safety eyes, and well, I'm going to automatically fail that garage door opener. It's dangerous and can hurt someone. Now, to test the operation of the safety eyes, you basically break the beam between the two eyes, and as soon as you do that, the door should automatically reverse and the lights will blink signifying that it's been reversed because the safety eyes were tripped. All right, you also want to inspect the wall control. Now, you want to make sure this control is mounted at least 5 feet from the floor to make sure that young children can't play with it and potentially get hurt by the moving door. Now, an important feature of your garage door is the safety reversal. If your garage door hits an object, the force should then automatically reverse it. And the way you're going to test that is you're going to take a 2x4, you're going to lay it down on the ground, and you're going to shut the door on top of it. If it doesn't immediately reverse, well, it's not working properly. It'll need to be replaced or serviced. Now, door balance is a very important part of this inspection. You want to make sure the parts and pieces like the springs are doing their job and they're carrying the weight of the garage door. Otherwise, the door could possibly slam down to the ground and cause a dangerous situation. The way you're going to test your door balance is you're going to detach the trolley at the motor so you can start working the door manually, and you're going to try it at 3 different positions. You're going to try it 2/3 of the way off the ground, halfway, and 1/4 off the ground. And if the door balances at those positions, well, then the parts of your garage door are working correctly. So a properly balanced door is going to balance at 1/4 of the way up. It's going to balance halfway up, and it's going to balance 2/3 of the way up. That's a correctly and safely working garage door. Now, when it comes to garage door openers, they need to be plugged into a grounded outlet. Now, if your cord isn't long enough to reach your outlet, you're going to be tempted to plug it into an extension cord, and well, you're going to fail a home inspection. Some cords are severely undersized and they create heat, which then can cause a fire. So always make sure your garage door opener is plugged into a grounded outlet. If you don't have one, call an electrician and get one installed for your garage door opener. I'm going to put this in here. Now, a very important item next on the checklist is safety cables. Now, if you have an extension spring style garage door with the springs running on either side, you absolutely have to have a safety cable. And what that does is it runs through the spring attached at either side. So if the spring were to break, it's contained on that cable and will not fly around the garage and potentially hurt someone. So if you don't have safety cables, you're failing that inspection. Now, aspects of a garage door that are commonly overlooked are the bottom rubber and the weather seal around the opening. Now, what you want to make sure an inspector, or if you're buying a new home or selling a home, what to look for is to make sure this bottom seal is intact, it's not shredded or torn, and that it actually seals the floor so you keep the cold air out, which keeps the warm air in. You want to keep the dirt, bugs, and pests out of your garage. Now, the weather seal, or referred to also as the stop molding, keeps the gap sealed up between your door and the building, which also keeps the cold air out and, again, right, the warm air inside. Now, what you want to look for is to make sure this vinyl flap is actually contacting the door, that it isn't torn or ripped, and that there aren't any gaps anywhere around the opening, so you can make sure that garage stays nice and warm in the wintertime. Now, also part of your inspection is the overall condition of the door. Is it damaged? Do the panels fit together right? Is it sitting level? Is it rotted? Is it falling apart? When it operates, is it smooth? Is it quiet? If it's not smooth, banging around and making a bunch of noise, well, then obviously it needs to be serviced and will not pass my inspection, shouldn't pass anyone else's inspection. Now, let's recap this garage door home inspection. Safety eyes, making sure the garage door opener has safety eyes, and if they're not working properly, replacing them. Wall control, ensuring that's at least 5 feet off the ground to make sure the children don't mess around with it and cause a dangerous situation. Safety reversal, testing the force setting on the motor by laying a 2x4 on the ground. Should reverse when it hits it. Door balance, testing the springs and the parts of the garage door opener to make sure they're working correctly, that the door stops 1/4 of the way off the ground, halfway, and 2/3. No extension cords. will fail a home inspection if you plug a motor into an extension cord. Next up, safety cables. If you have an extension spring style garage, you absolutely have to have those cables, otherwise potentially somebody could be injured with a broken spring. The bottom rubber and weather seal, making sure it's intact, that it's doing its job. It's sealing the cold air out, keeping the warm air in. And then overall condition of the door, making sure it's not damaged in any way, that it sits level, works properly, quiet, and smooth. Now that you see the way we go about inspecting a garage door, you can get out there and inspect that door. I'm Joe Conti with Precision Door, a name you can trust.